everyone. Welcome back to NoogaLive. It's been a while. This is our first episode since COVID. We're really happy to be here. We're out at NewTerra Compost with Michael and Norm, the two founders and owners. And I'm Jody Davis, hence the name change.
Name change. I'm Rob Barber. We're your digital mayors, and we're glad to be back with NoogaLive. So maybe Norm, Michael, who wants to start out? How did this happen? Like, did you wake up one day and said, boom, compost, we're in? What was the deal?
I wish that's the way it was, right? I wish everybody could wake up that way.
It was not that fast.
No, it was, I'm 38, and I guess it was 3 or 4 years ago. I've been in the restaurant industry for almost 20 years.
In Chattanooga?
In Chattanooga, yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm managing restaurants and everything, and then selling to restaurants. And I saw a lot of small mom and pop shops spending $30, $40 more a case for compostable products. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about, like, so what's happening to this stuff, right? Like, why they're spending the money for it? What are we doing with it? And then I found out it was all just going to the landfill. And then, once you go down what we call the rabbit hole of waste, there's no coming back. It's like the Matrix, it's like the red pill. There's no, and that's what we did.
It's the end of the line.
Yeah, we took that pill, and there was no coming back after that. And we're like, wait a minute, all this food is going to a landfill, and a head of lettuce can last 25 years in a landfill. Like,
a head of lettuce can last 25 years?
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
We're wrapping all this stuff in plastic. And then we're burying it under mounds of more plastic, and it can't get oxygen, it can't get moisture, it can't break down. So it breaks down anaerobically, which is how it produces methane. And landfills are the 3rd largest contributor to methane gas in the United States.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's now we both have a lot of those facts and knowledge to just throw out all the time.
And it's also something where, whether it's at a restaurant or at your home, you don't realize how much it is because it all just goes in a black bag. You don't see it again, and it goes out every week, and it's not your problem, right?
Oh, yeah.
But when you start actually separating it out and you see it. So my epiphany was basically hearing Michael tell me about this problem and then starting it at my house and then being like, this is a lot, and this is a lot just for my home.
Right.
How do we solve this problem at scale? Because a restaurant's not going to go turn a pile in their backyard.
Or a grocery store. I mean, how much of that stuff doesn't actually make it into a house before it rots?
Yeah, a lot. So, and the whole food system, right? From the time it leaves the field, some of it never even leaves the field because it goes bad right there. Or while it's in a truck, at a produce distribution center, stuff happens. Refrigerators go out, electricity goes out, things go bad. So there's a huge level of waste that just comes from it being moved around and filtered through the system. So.
That's insane. I mean, this morning, these guys gave me a bucket to use, and this morning I went through the refrigerator just trying to figure out what I could put in this bucket to send their way so that it didn't look like I didn't do my homework this week. And the number of things that I found that have been expired for at least a month or more, I was like, that goes in, that goes in, that goes in, that's good. It was amazing because if I look at that and I try to eat that, I'm going to look at it and go, expired in May. I'll put it back in the refrigerator so it doesn't stink. And then it lives there for a while. But with the compost, I was just like, this is the perfect thing. I can't wait to throw it in the bucket.
Maybe share with us a little bit about like the business model, because before I got here today, composting in my mind was like big restaurant, big grocery, those kind of things. But it can be done on the individual level too, right?
Yeah.
So walk through, share with that. I want to learn more about that.
So on the individual level, like everybody has the ability to make a difference. The households that we service, we see between 10 and 20 pounds. And there's some, if you have only one person in your household, you might be a little less. And if you have a family that eats at home all the time, you could be close to 30 pounds of just food residuals. And that's not you being wasteful. That's you prepping food, carrot tops, onions, all that kind of stuff.
Coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds, yeah. If you're a coffee drinker.
I'd have a bucket of coffee grounds.
I'm thinking about the onion I cut last night. It just went,
If you're cooking anything from scratch and you've got veggies, I mean, it'll fill up real quick. I mean, we've got little buckets you can leave in your sink because it's easier for you to put everything there when it's at your sink.
Oh, that's a good
and then
idea.
you start doing that, but then you start getting into the whole, wait a minute, paper towels and napkins, as long as you didn't use chemicals with them. You're wiping your your
just
mouth and everything, your hands.
I didn't put my paper towels in there. I should have done that.
We got kids, man. We're cleaning kids off and throwing those in there, and
So
So each household can make a difference, right? Like if you think about a whole neighborhood, if everybody's doing 20 pounds, you think about the decrease that either your city or the waste system you're paying for is decreased. It's also the smelliest part of your garbage can. So if you get that out of there, you don't even need to be using your garbage can every week. Like my household, both our households don't even put our garbage can out.
Like this big a week,
so
4 of us.
So the business is really based on getting everybody involved and getting their portion of it out of the waste stream and getting it here to be composted instead. And then the next part is the big producers.
Right, so that's one of the things I was like, because my first thing to you was like, if I'm running a business, like how do I install a process, right? Because I want it to be efficient. I don't need more work. Like, but you said you guys got that down. So how does that work?
So I mean, every restaurant's different. Every business is different. The way they do things in the back, and that's kind of how we come in. We go and see what your process is and how you do it, and just try to make it simple. It has to be simple. You know, when you go through prep, it's, well, maybe we have a container here, and as you're doing prep, everything goes in there. You have them in different sections, and it's just food, right? Just put food in this, you know, and then maybe you move up from there. You just have to start small. If you walk into a business and say, we're composting the whole thing, everything's getting composted, you know, they're going to look at you and go, wait a minute, we can't do that right now. But if you start in one spot and you slowly watch it grow, and you watch your employees get excited about it, and you know, you get some management involved in it, and it's a very simple process. I think people are just scared of change. Changing something up, putting a new step. I mean, it's just putting something in a different container. That's all we're asking people to do, really. So,
and that's really where, like, our business model and what we offer as our value proposition to our customers is not just the garbage man system. You know, the guy who shows up at 3 in the morning, you never see him. You signed up and then he's done with them, right? Right. We are a partner with you through the preparation of the system. You know, we send Michael in, he helps you develop that system. And then as things keep going, you know, people ask you, well, what if we throw in some plastic by accident? It's like, we'll see it, because we go through each bag that we get, and we'll know where it came from. We can even tell, you know, front of house, back of house, if it's a grocery store, which part of the grocery store it came from. Like, you can learn a lot, so you can tell which department.
You know a lot when you go through people's stuff, right?
And we go back and give you that feedback.
Be careful.
Don't send it to us if you're hiding something.
I mean, I've sent pictures to management of like huge fillets of salmon.
Oh my gosh.
And I hope, was this on your waste sheet? Because that's a lot of money. I know how much an entree of salmon is at your restaurant.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I mean, some management don't see that kind of stuff happen, and we see all this stuff coming out. I mean, I might see a whole lot of an ingredient, a lot, coming from this one place, and I can call them up and say, hey, I'm seeing this a lot. A lot of waste here. What can we do inside your facility to change this?
That's pretty awesome. I mean, I know, like, with recycling, so many people say, well, if you put the wrong thing in there, they have to throw the whole thing away. So what's the point? Because you know everyone's putting something bad in there. But that's nice. It's not that way with composting. You will see it. You'll take it out. The good work that you did during the week is not going to go to waste.
I mean, we're like 100%. 100% of the stuff that's compostable you give us, we're composting.
That's awesome.
And what's cool too is, you know, like you recycle a bottle or something, and it goes, we don't know where it goes, and it's in a system, and you never see that bottle come back to you in the form of a toy or a piece for your truck. You know, you don't know where it ended up. Here, you get that compost back in the spring and the fall, and you get to see your food turned into something. You know,
you get to use it.
And then you get to use it, and you can make more food with that compost and keep the cycle going. So it comes back to you, and you get to see the result. It's not a one direction and out of sight, out of mind. It's coming back to you. You get to see it. You get to use it. You get to feel it.
You get to play with your food. It brings whole new meanings.
There you go.
Please play with your food.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, this compost is all going back into into our soil here, Chattanooga, locally. So
that's fantastic. So in order for someone to get involved with you guys, to sign up for your services, what do they need to do, and how much is it going to cost them?
So we offer our most popular and really convenient option is the kiosks. We have a drop-off program. You sign up, it's $15 a month, and you can use, all of our kiosks are coded the same, but you get access to is it 7 or 8 now?
I think we have 8 or 9 now.
8. We're trying to get. We're just working to get more.
Yep.
Oh wow, there's one in Trenton too.
There's one in Wildwood. Pruitt's up on Signal Mountain.
Southside.
You
got Needloves, right?
Yep. Hickson High School.
Red Bank Recycling
Recycling Center, Gaining Ground Grocery Store, in Highland Park, and we have one in Ottawa. And am I missing anything? I think that's it. So you sign up, $15 a month. You have access to it. You get a 5-gallon bucket, and we recommend every week you come by, even if you only have a little, drop it off so you never have to deal with the smell. Dump it in the bucket, and you go about your life and keep repeating the process. And then in the spring you'll get the compost back, and in the fall. So
that's the cost of about 2 beers a month.
Yeah.
Great.
Depending on what kind of beer.
Restaurant beers.
There's some beers that are
that's right. That's exactly
one of them.
Yeah, you throw in tip and taxes, you know.
Yeah.
And then what if you don't want to drop something off at a kiosk?
If you don't want to drop it off at a kiosk, you can do a curbside. And that area, we cover Hickson, North Shore, most of downtown, pretty much all of downtown Chattanooga.
Black
Creek. And basically you get a fresh bucket every week. So we come by, we pick up your bucket, and we swap out it for a fresh, clean bucket. So you have none of those worries, and you just keep living your life. And just like the kiosk members, you get compost back in the spring delivered to your house. So,
awesome. So 2 beers for a kiosk system. How much if you, like me, might want your compost picked up and redelivered?
That's $30 a month.
Okay, so like 2 not that great bottles of wine at the liquor store.
Right. Well, you're getting a clean bucket. Everyone that gets theirs taken back, just like with our commercial line, we weigh every container too. So if we're bringing it back, we're weighing that, and you can actually see the numbers on your account of how much you've kept out of there. There's a shop on there. There's a give 10, get 10 code. So if you give your friends this code, they get $10 off their initial service, and you get $10 in your account, which can be used on your on your service or bags and things. We sell bags through our account and everything as well. So
that's fantastic.
It sounds like a great family project, even. So like my kids are a bit older now, but like if my daughters were younger, this would be like a great, something to do at home that let's see what we're wasting, and then 2, let's be a part of the goodness, right? Because you were talking about trash is usually linear, right? It just goes in the ground and nothing ever good comes from it. Where we're composting.
You can use it.
And the cool thing, so like in a family structure, we see, it's typically one person who brings it into the home, right? So that first week we get that bucket from that family. There's, 5 pounds. There's just a little bit of stuff, right? Everybody's still figuring it out. It's like you said that you didn't throw in paper towels, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't throw in my paper towels.
So next week
I'll throw in my paper towels.
You will be another pound, and then as your daughters get involved, it just keeps growing, and then it'll get to the point where everybody thinks about it, and everybody's conscious every time they're cooking, and there'll be no organic matter in your trash.
And you keep a bin. When you keep a bin by the sink, it's whenever you go to the sink, you just open it up and you just scrape all the food into that.
That's awesome.
That you didn't eat, and then you're good to go.
Sure.
I mean, thinking about that from an investment standpoint too, I hate buying paper towels. Because I know they're going to get used once, thrown away, and you're just watching your little green dollars head into the trash can. But this, it's almost like you're putting it back in. You're going to get it back. You can use it for something that
it makes you feel a little bit better
Yeah.
about using them. Yeah, well, their newspapers is something that you would think would just disappear real quick. I see in my neighborhood newspapers disappearing at the end of somebody's driveway just in a week. Right.
You're right. Yeah.
They're doing core samples of landfills where they're bringing up newspapers and banana peels from 50 years ago.
Ooh.
That's
so
wild.
All of those paper towels that you're putting in there are going to be there forever. Pretty much.
Oh, man.
So talk a little bit just real quick too, so anyone who's watching this, because I love coming, one of the reasons why we love doing NoogaLive is we get to go out and experience what people are really doing in the community. So I mean, do you guys have educational opportunities where people can come out here? I mean, and see what's going on and learn. And I'm sure you guys, I'm asking, do you guys do those kind of programs, those kind of things?
We want to get to the point where we have a facility here that schools can come to, and we can do presentations and show them and walk them through the entire process. Obviously, once we get big enough, there'll be trucks hopefully coming in, and things will be going all the time, which will be fun for kids to see. We have had a homeschool group come out.
We have a summer camp in a few weeks coming out here.
So I mean, if we schedule something, maybe one of these days we can do something like maybe once a month. It's an open house and people can come and we can do like a certain event. But 2 of us.
I get it.
So we're trying to get to the point, but we want education. I guess we we knew it going in, but we didn't know it is to the extent of what it is now. Is education is just as much what we are as anything else.
Totally.
Working with kids in schools, I mean, we believe that this should be in every school in the area because, you know, it's just like the Pledge of Allegiance. How do you know the Pledge of Allegiance?
Right.
You did it every day in school.
Right.
So if we can show kids to do this every day at school and educate them without really letting them know we're educating them on a great process.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's going to be so much more successful. And just explaining to people where their food goes and just trying to get them to care a little bit about that system. I mean, education is key for us.
Yeah, we actually just did in May, Compost Awareness Week. We celebrated that by giving out compost bins to 8 schools.
Gotcha.
And I spoke at over a dozen classes, talking to kids about it,
So
and the
cool.
kids ate it up. Like they were so into it. They just got really into it, and just in the most of the schools only did it for 4 days tops.
Okay.
The schools that were in it did over like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Holy
just
cow,
that
that's
quickly.
awesome.
Like with a classroom.
Yeah.
Now, we're not talking about the whole school.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, these
One
were just
classroom.
classrooms in these schools that were involved in the process.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, education's huge. We think it's really important to let people know what's actually happening. And then we also do it at kind of the adult level too. We've done lunch and learns.
Right.
We've done neighborhood meetings. We've gone out and spoke to folks.
Zoom calls with businesses and all of their employees.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
you name it. I mean,
So
that's
best
what we're
way
here
to get
do.
in contact with you guys then? Website? I mean,
You can contact us through the website. I think both of our emails are on there. You know, and we try to be extremely responsive to anybody that asks questions and needs anything. So, I mean, even on our do's and don'ts list on the website, there's a spot down there where if you have a question and you're holding something in your hand, you're like, man, do I compost this? You can put it in there and we'll get back to you. And
That's
let
awesome.
you know. And then update our list as things come in. So if something's really weird that I have to look up, I might put it on there.
Okay, cool.
So it's just, we try to keep it, because you can get online and find so many different things that say don't put meat in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we compost meat. You know, we can do it all, because on a small system at your house, you have to worry about animals getting in it and smell. And if it's just your family, you're not putting enough in there.
Right.
And that's how one of the ways we started with this. We started at our house, and then it's like, man, I need more stuff. So then I started taking all the stuff from my neighbors, their yard waste, you know, all this food and everything. And then I started getting it bigger. And then we started doing it in his backyard. We got 3,000 pounds back there.
Oh, man.
You know, so I mean, it's just, you just got to get everybody involved.
Awesome.
Get going with it. So,
And
you guys are doing a great thing. Sorry, go ahead, Norm.
And that's a great thing just to highlight is for restaurants and homes. Meat, dairy, so cheese, all that.
I'll put some cheese in mine.
Throw it in there.
Some eggs.
We hear all the time people tell us you can't compost that, but we know we can.
Yeah.
And it makes it super easy on the restaurants because they don't want,
They don't want to have to.
they don't want to sort organic matter.
Right.
All organic matter is going in our compost.
That's
So
awesome.
tell a server on a
easy.
busy shift.
Yeah, I
put
know.
everything except for the steak
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
And it's going to fail every time. So we knew going in that we had to be able to take everything.
Sure.
And we can help restaurants source compostables too.
Okay.
If they want to, let's just say that 2-ounce portion cups and they're using black ones or something in there just because it's nice for dressings and everything, and we're finding a bunch of them, we can say, hey, maybe that's one thing we can try to source that's compostable.
So that they can just throw it in.
And now it's just a real easy process, So we try to do everything we can for every business that we get into to make it successful for them.
That's fantastic.
That's good stuff. Well, thanks, guys, for the time today.
Awesome.
It's great what you're doing. Love it. It's bettering the community. It's bettering what's going on, and you guys are investing, which is fantastic. It's fantastic.
we appreciate you guys coming out
thanks
here
for
taking the
coming
time.
out.
And
Yeah,
we
this
appreciate
has
you
been
trying
great.
composting this week. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. I'm going to sign up. I'm in.
Nice.
Count me in.
There we go. Good deal.
Hope you guys are feeling the same way. We're going to count all you in too.
There we go. We hope so.
That's right. All right, everybody. Well, we'll see you on the next episode of NoogaLive. We're going to link information on how to get in touch with NewTerra, either above or below, wherever you're watching this. Do not just let this live in your eyes, your ears. Get in touch with them. Michael and Norm care about this stuff. If it touches your heart, your brain, your kids, whatever, get in touch with them. Don't just sit by. Come out. Get involved. These guys are here for you.